Hello students, let us discuss today about e-auctions. An e-auction is a auction which is made electronically, right? That is the basic understanding in this topic. An auction is a market mechanism by which sellers place offers and buyers make sequential bids. Sellers will offer that and buyers will bid that. So this is a kind of auction. Normally it happens in the market. An e-auction takes place on an electronic market. So in electronically, if it is bidded or the bidding is taking place electronically, that is called what we call as e-auction. The primary characteristics of e-auctions or auctions, whether offline or online, is that prices are determined dynamically by competitive bidding. So here the prices is possible to be fixed dynamically because many more persons will be involved in auctions and the prices will be going higher, and this will be benefiting both the seller and the buyer. There are two types of auctions. There are several types of auctions, each with its motives and procedures. Even though there are several types, the major types or two types. One is forward auctions and number two is reverse auction. So these two types of auctions are very important, and it is prevailing in the market when we talk about the e-auction in e-commerce. Forward auctions. These are auctions that sellers use as a selling channel to many potential buyers. Usually items are placed at sites for auction and buyers will bid continuously for the items. The highest bidder wins the items. Seller and buyer can be individual or businesses. The popular auction site, for example, eBay.com is a very good site for this type of forward auction. So here, what is forward auction? As an auction or as we do business electronically or we do business digitally, right? We should know about the auction, particularly about e-auction. So this is a channel, selling channel to many potential buyers. So by this, the people or the business people or the individuals can be benefited. So here, what will happen? The auction will take place by many sellers or many buyers. The highest bidder, whomever is giving the highest bid, they will be the winner in the auction, and they will be getting the items which is required for them. That particular person may be an individual or he may be related to the business. So we have so many sites, very few sites which have the forward auctions, and these auctions are very essential for the business. Such a business, or we can take examples of the bank also. The bank will do e-auctions, and many automobile companies and many sites, e-commerce sites will give auctions. So for example, you can take the shopclosers.com, like that. Amazon.com also sometimes it is giving auction, and the customers will bid and get the goods or the services through that. Number two, reverse auction. In a reverse auction, there is one buyer, usually an organization, that wants to buy a product or service. Suppliers are invited to submit bids. So here in forward auction, one seller will be there, many buyers will be there. In case of reverse auction, only one buyer will be there, and suppliers are invited to submit bids. Many suppliers can be participating. It is possible to participate in the reverse auction. Many suppliers will be involved in that, and they will bidding the auction. Online bidding is much faster than conventional bidding, and it usually attracts many bidders. Because in conventional bidding, the person should go in person and he has to bid. But in case of e-auction, it is very easy to bid by sitting in the business room itself. The reverse auction is the most common auction model for large purchases. See, for example, we can take, if we take the government and large corporations, they will very frequently do this reverse auction. So frequently mandate this approach, this type of approach, which may provide considerable savings to them. Here in the reverse auction, one buyer will be there, he will be giving the requirement, and many suppliers will bid that. The suppliers will quote that. So the forward auction and reverse auction both are different thing in the e-auction arena. See here, this picture will make you clearly what is forward and what is reverse. In forward auction, the seller is one and the buyers are more. In forward auction, the seller, if he is getting the highest price, the buyers they are bidding, the buyer who is giving the highest price will be the winner for that particular item, and he will be given that particular item. In case of reverse auction, the buyer will be one buyer and sellers will be more. So the buyer will get the lowest quote from the seller. The sellers will quote, and if the quote is lower when we compare to other sellers, all the bids will be opened and all the bids will be put confidential, and the lowest price will be the winner, and the orders and the product will be purchased from the particular seller. So this is how we can differentiate the forward auction and the reverse auction. There are few processes in e-auction. In an auction, sellers and buyers usually complete a 4-phase process. So 4-phase process should be completed when we do e-auction. Auctions are conducted on hundreds of sites worldwide. Every day the auctions are taking place. Therefore, sellers and buyers need to execute extensive searches and comparison to select desirable auction locations. So this is the first phase, which is related to searching and comparing. Phase 2, getting started at an auction. To participate in a third-party managed auction, both sellers and buyers need to register at the selected site. So first we have to register on the selected site in which we do e-auction. After registration, sellers and buyers can list, feature, schedule and price their item on this site. So after the registration only, the sellers or buyer, whomever it may be, they can list the items, list the product or services, and they can feature it, they can give the description of that particular product, and they can schedule, and also the prices of those items can be displayed in the site. Phase 3, bidding. In the bidding phase, buyers can submit bids themselves or can make use of the software tools that place bids on their behalf. So the software itself will do the bidding, and just we have to make a click on the bidding site and we can do the e-auction. They also use software tools to view the bidding status and to place bids across different sites in real time. So there are several tools are available, software tools, and those tools will be made possible, and it will be useful for that particular e-commerce site, and they will do the e-auction through that. Post-auction activities. In the phase 4, post-auction activities, it means after the e-auction what should be done. Post-auction activities take place once an auction is completed. So after the completion, what will be the next thing the e-auction or the e-auctioner or the bidder should do? These activities include email notification and arrangements for payment and shipping. So once the auction is completed, the notification will be emailed to the particular bidder, and the arrangements of the payment will be should be done through the gateway of the payment, right? And after the payment, the shipping and delivery will be possible. So these are the 4 important phases in which e-auction is involved. When we talk about the benefit, the e-auction is taking place, okay, it is different from the physical auction, the conventional auction, traditional auction, but what are the benefits when we talk about the sellers and buyers? Benefits to sellers, we can say increased revenue is there, optimal price setting can be done, and the removal of expensive intermediaries. We do not have any intermediary when we do e-auction, because in case of traditional auction we need to get help from the intermediary, so that expense is avoided here, and better customer relationship may be built in case of e-auction for the seller, and lower transaction cost for them. The seller need not afford many expense because of this kind of auction, so the transaction cost will be very low, and lower administrative cost too. So all these are the benefits when we talk about the seller. And the buyer. Buyers are getting the benefits of these types like opportunities to find unique items and collectibles. So buyers can find the opportunities in the e-auction to bid, and unique items and so many collectibles can be possible. Collectibles are possible in case of e-auction. Lower prices, right? Lower prices will make happy the buyers, and the competitive environment will be there. So that the environment can be understood whether it is competitive or it is not competitive. Accordingly, we can bid and we can get the prices low. Anonymity. So anonymity should be there for the buyers if they are giving any particulars or details, information about the company or the individual. It should be kept confidential. So otherwise, the security will not be there for the buyers. So the buyers will always keen about that, and the e-auctioner and the e-commerce site should make possible this anonymity for the buyers. Then convenience. Convenience in the sense the buyer can sit in any place in the room or in the business cabin, and he can bid the e-auction. So these are the benefits when we talk about the e-auctions. Thank you.